Hey everybody, JC here with another TNI toy review, and today's review is in association with JediInsider.com, your #1 news source for everything Star Wars. And for today's review, we're going to take a look at the new Star Wars The Black Series 6-inch First Order TIE Fighter pilot from the Force Awakens movie. Now this figure from Hasbro comes packaged in a window box packaging, the same style of packaging we've been seeing with all the Black Series figures this year. You've got the logo up at the top, the figure clearly displayed with the red background, and then down below you have an image of the character and the name. On the side we have the red border, and it tells us this is figure number 11 in the series. And then on the back of the packaging we have a brief bio in multiple languages. Okay, so let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. Here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging. Now this figure is the exact same figure that we got with the TIE Fighter pilot that came with the Black Series 6-inch TIE Fighter vehicle, only the only real difference is there's some different paint decos on the helmet, most notably the red stripes that come with the one that shipped with the TIE Fighter. But otherwise, it's the exact same figure, exact same accessory. We get that little blaster pistol that we see with a lot of the First Order guys. Same paint deco. You've got the silver stripe, and then it's just black. So exact same pistol. And he holds the pistol in both hands. Better in his right hand, but you can get it in his left hand as well. He does not have a place to, he doesn't have a holster, or he doesn't have the little hole on the side of his leg to store the blaster, so you either have to hold it or set it aside. As I said, this is the exact same figure that we've already gotten, only it's on a single card. You don't have the red striping on the helmet. There's the one that came with the TIE Fighter has more silver on these little nozzles that you hook, that the hose, their air hoses hook up to, so less silver here. And then the eyes have more of a blue tint to them than the one that came with the TIE Fighter. You've got the one oxygen hose that comes down to this chest piece, and you've got the little controls with the white and gray and blue buttons. You also got the one red button as well. You've got the little rank insignia sculpted in the chest here on the chest plate. You've got these little straps that go from the belt to the sides of his legs. You've got the pouches sculpted, and the pouches and the chest plate and the boots and the gloves are all done with more of a glossy black paint, and then the rest of it is a more flat black. You've got the First Order symbols on both shoulders, sculpted on the shoulder pads, and you know, it's a nice looking figure, nice clean, you know, not a lot of paint detail. It's pretty much primarily black, so, but no paint blemishes, nice clean paint work on the First Order symbol. You've got the little, what I always call oil, or the circle and the two lines sculpted on the back, just like you do with most of the stormtroopers and First Order stormtroopers. So overall, you know, like I said, if you already have the figure that came with the TIE Fighter, you know what to expect. It's nice to get a second figure, you know, because the TIE Fighter does actually hold two figures. And then, of course, if you didn't want to spend all the money on the vehicle, it's nice that they allowed you to get the figure separately as well. And here's a look at both TIE Fighter pilots inside the cockpit of the 6-inch First Order TIE Fighter. Wondering, did anyone actually see the TIE Fighter pilot with the red stripings on his helmet in the movie? I've seen the movie 4 times, and I can't really recall seeing one of the TIE Fighter pilots with red stripes. Now, there was a scene, a brief second, when the TIE Fighters were chasing the Millennium Falcon on Jakku, and we see one of the pilots, and it looked like, you saw like red markings on his helmet, but it looked more like it was light reflecting off of the helmet from like the TIE Fighter cockpit than actual painted stripes. So I just wonder if Hasbro saw that and thought those were actual red stripes. Maybe they were red stripes and I looked at it wrong, but to me that looked more like red lights reflecting off the shiny helmet than anything. And that was the only time I saw any remote red striping on any of the TIE Fighter pilots. I might have missed it, so you know, if you saw it, let me know where in the movie you saw it. So this figure stands just about 6 inches exactly, and you can see here it's the same height as the TIE Fighter pilot that comes with the TIE Fighter, First Order TIE Fighter, and it's also about the same height as the Imperial TIE Fighter pilot that Hasbro released. The installation on the figure is not too bad, exactly the same as the one that comes with the TIE Fighter. The head's on a ball joint, so he can look left and right. Now you got to be careful when you're turning the head to this side, because you've got this hose that sticks out from the chest piece up to his helmet, so you can't really turn it that much more than that when you're turning the head that direction. Arms are attached with your standard ball hinge joint, so he can get his arm out pretty good. Even with the shoulder pads, he can still get his arm out pretty good, and he's got good rotation. You've got the single hinged elbow, so they can bend their elbows about that much. You've also got the swivels at the elbow, you've got the swivels at the wrist, and you have the hinges on the hands, so you've got some up and down movement with the hands. You've got a midsection rotation joint, so you can rotate there at the midsection. Really no crunch on this figure, no ab crunch at all. Legs are attached with ball joints, but they can't do the splits very well. That's about as far out as you can get the legs, and then you can get the leg forward pretty good, and then you can do the leg out and back a little bit. You do have the thigh swivel, but again, you have to be careful because you got the strap that goes from the leg up to the belt, so you do want to be a little bit careful, but you still got pretty good rotation there. You've got double jointed knees, so good bending at the knees, and then you've got the hinges on the feet, so good up and down movement with the feet, and then you've got ankle pivot and 2 peg holes on the bottom of the feet for this one. Okay, so that's my review. Overall, nice figure, looks very much like what we see in the movie. Now, if you already have the one that came with the TIE Fighter, then this is basically kind of a repeat figure minus the red stripes, but again, that's kind of nice since the TIE Fighter does hold 2 different pilots at the same time. It's nice to have a second one at least. Now, you may want to army build this guy and get a lot more than 2, but it's definitely nice to have 2, and if you didn't buy the TIE Fighter at all, then it's definitely nice that they allowed you to get the figure without having to spend all the money on the expensive vehicle. So this figure is out now. It's part of the 3rd wave of Black Series figures from Hasbro. I found mine at Target, and that's where I've been hearing most reports of people finding this wave, but I think it is out at other places as well, like Walmart and such. We'll have a full gallery of images up at JediInsider.com, and as always, leave a comment, let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe, and until next time, I'll catch you later.